What's up, guys, and welcome to our Clone Wars Chronological Rewatch. Today we're talking about Altar of Mortis, the second episode in the Mortis arc. Still sticking with that really trippy Star Wars goodness.
Yeah.
So at the end of the last episode, they're all flying away. They're going to leave Mortis, but the son's like, no. And he invades their ship, and he just grabs Ahsoka and flies back out. The theme for this one is he who surrenders hope surrenders life. And immediately Anakin starts to display that because he chases after the son and Ahsoka, and you see them like disappear into the mist for a second. And he is like, you can see him kind of almost give up and be sad and like just assume she's gone forever. Mm-hmm. And he's like, nope. And he just keeps barreling through. This is, again, pretty much all about Anakin and how he handles loss and the fear of it.
Not well.
No.
But so the brother then
the son.
Son.
I know it's just all these family members, and it's like he is a brother.
The daughter calls him the brother.
I know, it's so weird.
So the son basically infects Ahsoka somehow. Maybe that's like just a force power that he has.
It's when he's that little creature.
Yeah.
She's like in the prison, and there's like this weird little creature with no clothes on.
Yeah, it's so bizarre. I like watching this. I was like, I don't even remember this little guy.
He's like a little beaver man.
Yeah.
But he kind of taunts her for a little bit, and he
makes her believe that like he's also in the prison and he can help her.
Yeah. And to play into the themes of hope, Ahsoka refuses to give up hope that Anakin will come. She says that she's like, he's going to come for me, you'll see. And he's trying to kill that hope. But Ahsoka won't give up, and she's not ready to surrender her life until she is straight up infected by the dark side.
Yeah, which is very creepy. I've seen a cosplayer do a specific cosplay of infected Ahsoka, and it's very cool. But yeah, she gets all veiny, and her eyes go orange, and she's just like crazy.
Yeah, I mean, she goes straight up all in dark side with the yellow eyes and the red ring around it. Mm-hmm. So most of the episode, Anakin is fighting her, trying to talk her down. And Obi-Wan goes off on a little side quest with the daughter to get the dagger of Mortis. Which,
I'm like, of course, there's a hidden dagger that will kill these force wielders.
Well, there's always a hidden dagger. But that was all kind of like the son's plan. He wanted to get the dagger out so that he could kill the father. Mm-hmm. I really need to study mythology more because, like, I've been reading the Joseph Campbell book, The mm-hmm. Hero with a Thousand Faces, and like it talks about like the death of the father and how in very many myths the son kills the father. Mm-hmm. And like we see that in The Force Awakens. And I think that this is very rooted in mythology, and it's trying to build the mythology of the Star Wars galaxy, that there are these like force gods, and one of them is like constantly trying to kill his father. And I'm jumping ahead to the next episode, but it's like he kills the daughter in this one. The father dies in the next one. And he seems so upset about both of them. Mm-hmm. And like, it's something he wants, but he doesn't want. And I think that's probably just part of the nature of the dark side, is like confusion and just lashing out for the sake of it.
Yeah. But so Obi-Wan gets the dagger, and then eventually they run into evil Ahsoka and fight, and then she gets the dagger, gives it to the son. Mm-hmm. So am I jumping ahead too far?
No, this is good.
But there is like a cool fight scene where Ahsoka is like really beaten down on Anakin, and Anakin's like, what is going on?
Well, some of the stuff that she says, I wonder if she means it, where she's like, you won't let me live up to my full potential, you don't trust me, and blah blah blah. And like Anakin denies that, but I do wonder if deep down that's how Ahsoka feels, or if it's the son or the dark side just trying to play Anakin and make him think that's what Ahsoka really feels.
I feel like it's probably something a lot of Padawans feel, because it's sounds a lot like the things Anakin says about Obi-Wan. Like, he doesn't trust me, and like it's probably things that a lot of Padawans feel, but shouldn't let that get to them because that's leading down the wrong pathway.
Well, now, like, that you point that out, I do wonder if it's absolutely just the son messing with Anakin and being like, because he was probably in his head like, I won't be a master like my master. I'm going to treat Ahsoka this way, and I'm going to do it right. And then to hear Ahsoka say that he's making all the same mistakes probably hurts him. Either way, I think it would hurt him, but that's an interesting point that, it's basically the same thing that he used to whine about. But when she gives the dagger to the son, he just kills Ahsoka. He's like, your usefulness is over. She dies. That's when he tries to kill the father, but the daughter dives in the way, which I always thought is kind of funny. Like, not funny, but weird, and like it makes sense to me to, like, if someone's shooting at someone else, to dive in front of the bullet. It seems a lot harder to pull off if you're trying to dive in front of a knife in close quarters. But she does it.
A very large knife, too.
She is a god, I guess.
Yeah. She floats quickly over. And
that's when, like, the son loses his mind and just flies away.
Yeah.
He's mortified.
It's so weird because, like, he has so much hatred and anger towards these people, but and when he realizes he's killed the daughter instead of the father, he is like devastated.
It's probably an element of, like, you don't know what you've got until it's gone. You might harbor some anger against people, but, like, if you lose any chance to reconcile, then it's going to weigh on you. And I mean, the last episode was all about guilt, so these arcs tend to play off of all of the different themes that they have running. But the daughter uses her last bit of life to bring Ahsoka back, because she's going to die anyway. And this is really, really interesting, especially when you consider, like, Revenge of the Sith and The Rise of Skywalker now. So Anakin channels the Force from the daughter into Ahsoka, but he has to be shown how and helped by the father.
Yeah, the father is kind of guiding him the whole way. Which
I think is really interesting when you look at Revenge of the Sith, because Anakin is at this point where he knows that it's possible to save Padme, but he doesn't know exactly how. He needs help.
Right, and he thinks Palpatine can give him that help.
And it makes that promise seem so much more real, where in Revenge of the Sith, it's just like, okay, well, this guy just outed himself as the most evil person you can imagine, and you're immediately going to trust him. And it's like, well, if you've already taken that step where, like, well, I brought Ahsoka back to life, like, there's a way to do it. I just need someone to show me how.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. But I also think that it's cool that it works along the same lines of the Rise of Skywalker rules, when Rey heals the snake or Kylo Ren.
Yeah, because it's taking, I guess, the last bit of life that the daughter has, funneling it into Ahsoka, so she lives and then the daughter dies.
And just one other thing for Anakin is I'd made a video about this, about whether or not Anakin could have brought Padme back at all, even if he knew how to do it, if he knew about Force healing. And I kind of don't think he would have been able to, because the point of Rey healing the snake, or Kylo Ren, or when Ben heals Rey, those are all selfless acts. And Anakin wanted Padme to be alive for selfish reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, there were plenty of reasons to have Padme in the galaxy. She was a great politician and fighter for the rights of every citizen, but it's like Anakin didn't care about any of that. He wanted Padme for him.
So you don't think he would be willing to give up his own life to save Padme?
I don't think so. I think that it was more about the two of them. But again, he would have it's all speculation. He didn't even know how to do the thing, but it's shown constantly that Anakin is possessive and selfish when it comes to love. The last episode said his love was like a prison. So I just don't think he had it in him at that point to be selfless in that way.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows? And just like the end of the last episode, they're like, well, I guess we'll leave.
Time to go. And then Anakin's like, oh, I just can't.
That's in the next one.
Oh, well.
They leave this episode for just like sorry, we messed all this up, but we're going to head out.
Well, the father kind of admits that, like, he could have done a better job, or he's just like, at this point, he's been saying that he's dying this whole time, but he hasn't died yet, and he's just like, I don't know, facepalm at this point that the daughter is dead and the son is in charge and the dark side is taking over the planet.
That's a good question. Like, he says he's dying. How long has he been dying? Like, the son says he's taking too long to die. And it's like, when you say you're on death's door, do you still have like a few millennia left? How old are you?
Right.
It could be a long, long time. I think he's just tired.
Yeah.
Tired of dealing with these kids. It's like, Anakin, why don't you do this, please?
There's a scene where he's just laying down, taking a nap, and he wakes up and he's like, oh.
These kids, at it again. But we will finish up the Mortis arc next week with Ghosts of Mortis. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel.
Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
And consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.